Hey guys, welcome back to Brothers Off Script. I'm Jerry.
I'm Ryan.
And if you want to know why we are so incredibly dirty right now, you have to watch our other videos. There was a lot going on today, and we're pretty proud of what we accomplished. So, tonight's shoot, we're talking about justice and or the lack thereof of justice.
It's a very opinion-oriented topic because it stands that it stands for, that you got your rights observed, and no one really gave you any crap about it. It was justice. I got justice after the crime happened to me, or justice was brought to me, the criminal, or something like that. I guess everyone figures that justice means now, with social justice warriors, that it's I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, and no one should be able to tell me any different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of anti the point, because they're lumping in freedom of speech and expression with justice. I think we all should be able to coexist, as the old saying goes. Can't we all just get along? But too many people feel like they're being slighted based on one specific attribute of them, be it their skin color or how they talk, or whatever condition they're born in. I don't have the exact lifestyle that I want, so justice does not apply to me. It only applies to this other person who happens to be slightly different than me.
Yeah, this other group. We're in a situation too where we've got, the police department's being investigated by the government's investigating the police department, the police department of the government is investigating members of the government, other governments are investigating each other, the United Nations is investigating individual countries of the United Nations, and everybody's pretty mad, and everybody's upset about this lack of fairness, and at the same time everyone accepts that life is not fair.
Well,
and so we have
accepting that life is not fair, like every parent has ever said. Any parent who's being real with their child, the world's not fair.
It's not,
you
and
have
so
to
you're
go
gonna,
out and get it.
It's not going to be fair, and I think justice is really based on this idea that somebody committed a wrong. And here's what's interesting: like when somebody does something wrong, it doesn't have to be intentional, right? So you have something like manslaughter, which is negligence,
involuntary,
right? Involuntary manslaughter. You're driving a forklift, you take a corner, you clip your buddy, he dies, it's your fault because you were driving, but it was an accident. But you're still guilty,
right,
of depriving his family or him of his life. And so, is that fair? No, it's not fair, right?
Somebody had to lose something.
Somebody had to lose something, so we're going to make somebody else lose something too. It's not fair. But, we seek this thing, and yet at the same time, in our society, it feels like we have people who we know are guilty, right? We know they're guilty of crimes. We know they're guilty of hurting people. It's not about presumption of innocence. They're guilty. They did it. And then the guys who take lives, or women who take lives and kill people, and then they're insane. And so they're not guilty by reason of insanity. So, sure, they're going to go to the mental hospital for a couple of years. But is there justice there? No, there's not justice there, right?
The victim's family, the victim doesn't feel like they got what they deserved, so injustice for all. It's not. We're in the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Liberty and justice for all.
Well, I think that's what we're pursuing.
Right.
I think we're pursuing justice for all, but we're not gonna get it. Right?
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
No one ever gets exactly what they want. A popular video game you and I used to play more, but a lot less nowadays, World of Warcraft. You would be very good at your character. Your skill set would be adapted so you can hit all the digits. You could type away real quick and do mad combos and gank people or whatever. But they would rewrite the system, change the abilities, up the power level, down power level, this or that, because one person or a group of people would say, we think that's overpowered.
It's not fair.
It's not fair that character can do that. And the answer should be, if it's not fair, but you have the same opportunities to take, like I could be a rogue and kill people, or I could be this
In the game, by the way.
In
the game.
Yeah, I could go out and do that and try and be good at it, but
I want to sit here.
I chose a different profession and a character base, so I couldn't do the same things that character's designed for. Like, why, if every single person in this world is exactly the same, we're all gray or whatever,
we're one race,
we're all the same
different
height,
shades,
and we all get paid a basic cost of living, and you don't get anything extra, and nobody gets to have anything better. What is there to strive for?
Well, there's nothing to strive for.
You keep yourself alive, and you don't have to worry about that because the medical is provided for you, and you don't really have to do much. Show up at your job, and it's a paper pusher job because everything's automated, because no one wants to work too hard to.
Because that would be unfair.
That would be unfair that one person had to work harder than another guy. There's not enough manufacturing jobs in the world, so no one could be in manufacturing. And to make everything an even playing field,
it's completely
not
unrealistic.
justice. But it seems like that's what everybody wants it to be.
Well, they all want, when you listen to these people talk about how the world's not fair and how somebody's speech is offensive to them. Or I heard the guy who founded Antifa. The other was on an interview that I watched. I think it's been recorded for a while, but he was interviewing with a guy, Tucker Carlson or something. I'm watching this YouTube video, and the leader of Antifa is sitting here and he's saying, it's okay for someone who has speech that I don't like, right? Negative speech that hurts my feelings. When somebody says, "Hey, you shouldn't have that kind of lifestyle. Hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you shouldn't do that." It's okay for me to physically attack them. Because they're trying to destroy me with their speech,
hate speech.
They're trying to hurt. Well,
it's not. No, I mean it's not even hate speech, but it's not. It doesn't have.
But it's
to do with
speech
them.
that it's opposed, right, to your viewpoint. And this guy was sitting there advocating, well, we should just be able to beat people in the streets with sticks because we don't like what they said, and yet at the same time he's like, well, it's my freedom of expression to beat someone, right?
No.
So the world's not fair. Life isn't fair. Life is going to be full of hard things. And sometimes bad people are going to get away with it. And that's not fair either, right? What should we pursue? What should we do? I think, and I'll close my bit with this, we should pursue justice for the people that we work with, that we interact with, and our families. We should not make it fair, right? But we should try to find a moral right to the best of our abilities in the way that we conduct ourselves.
Well, what I'm doing, we bring people up, or not? That's the one question. And if it hurts your feelings, like I try not to be offensive. I really do.
We try not to be offensive on this show.
I think as a general rule, like I don't like confrontation. I don't want to get into a fight with somebody because they have a different opinion as me. But I might still have a little bit of road rage in me, but that doesn't mean I can run their car off the road because they're a bad driver. It's not okay to take from someone else it's just not okay. I mean, unless it was offered, don't take it.
Right.
And that can be, an opinion, or that's one of the things I'm finding out the most is I shouldn't give my opinion to anybody except for this group because you guys basically volunteered for the torture. So, but you're just trying to do what's best for you. Honestly, you need to be selfish, and we talked about this. You need to be selfish when it comes to making sure you have enough. But to take more than you need, that's the point where you're taking something from someone else. You're taking their liberty, and they're not feeling that they've gotten the even slice of the pie or something like that. So just try to be good, and check us out on our other videos. Like, subscribe, please, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.